All right, welcome to the Overtime Sports Radio Show on FrizzleBeats.com. This is Rick. I'm here with my partner, Tipsy's back. Tipsy, what's up, man?
Hey, what's good? It's good to be back, although in a somber mood, but I'm here.
We're definitely going to get into that. We got Mr. Fuego on with us.
Yo.
Thank you for stepping in, brother. I thought we'd include you in this conversation to start off the show. First of all, Tipsy, how was your weekend, buddy?
Yo, my weekend is good. I no longer work on Fridays at my job for the summer. That's awesome.
Right.
But, it's somber in the mood because a few days prior, my heralded Galaxy Note 2 that I love to brag about, slipped from my grasp one night. Did a nice little backflip and landed solidly on the damn driveway. And when it hit, my heart just it was over, yo. Like I lost a valve. Like there was no way, there was no recovering from it. It fell in slow motion, and I was just like, oh my God, no. And then when I heard the sound, it was just that crack, like it was over.
Well, this is the infamous phone that has been a point of contention over the last several weeks. If you followed the show, Tipsy and I have been going back and forth on this thing. He's a big supporter. He should be getting paid by him, actually, as much as he's lauded his phone. And instead of getting a nice case to protect against something like this, what would you call the case you got for it? Look at me, I got a Galaxy Note 2 phone.
Yeah,
case.
I got the Galaxy Note 2 cool case. I got the official Samsung case that when you close it over the screen, it says Samsung Galaxy Note 2 on it. Like, so everybody knows, even when I'm not using it, they walk by and like, oh, he's got a Galaxy Note 2. Like, I need you to know, like, short of wearing a sign, this is what I had to buy.
I noticed that your connection is not as good as it should be. I hear a lot of static, a lot of background noise. I mean, is that attributed to the damage to the phone? I mean, what exactly happened to the phone? What damage-wise?
I don't think it's, it landed right on the front-facing camera. So, like, it landed on the very corner where the front-facing camera is. So I got a crack there, and when I try to use the front-facing camera, like, it's all fuzzy because the glass is smashed in. And I got, like, a couple of cracks. I got one long crack across the screen and then a couple little minor cracks. But the phone itself does not have any lag or anything to it. Like, my calls are still clear. I don't know. I think maybe this, it might have something to do with the Skype or whatever like that. Or maybe this earpiece that I'm wearing for the Skype may not be the best earpiece. I may have to go just to the regular speakerphone.
Yeah, you don't have. Apparently, there's no noise canceling on your headset there. So
I have noise canceling, but I don't think it works on the Skype.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the Skype feature allows that to work. But let me check.
So basically, it's structural damage, not necessarily any functional issues with.
No, not any functional damage. Like everything still works the way it's supposed to work. So I don't have any functional damage, just cosmetic damage. But that's enough because that's the first thing people see. They're like, oh, you got a Note 2? Let me see. Ooh.
Well, exactly. So this and it's funny because I just thought about this, and I'm gonna kind of, I hope y'all don't mind, but I'm gonna kind of turn this discussion a little bit. I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for this, so y'all be nice on Twitter. I'm a 50-year-old white guy in Southern Maryland here, and I got the iPhone 4S, and the first thing my wife did when I got this phone was not only did she get me insurance, but she also got me like the $60 OtterBox case, just to make sure, you know what I mean? Go ahead, pay the money now so that we don't have to pay it later.
Hey, yo, I'm
gonna tell what it looked like. It's a big old bulky thing. I mean, really, it's not attractive at all.
Well, I'm saying, how's it fit in your pocket? That's another thing. My Note 2 is already big. To put an OtterBox on it would make it impossible to put anywhere. I need a gun holster.
You're adding to my fire here. So, first of all, I don't put it in a pocket. I'd wear it on a clip on the belt, so it's functional. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about putting it in the pocket away from everybody. So, it's more functional just hanging off my hip. So, that's cool.
See, that's another thing. I can't find no hip case. I've been looking, but they don't make them that big.
Let me ask you this. Do you wear a belt?
I do wear a belt.
On a regular basis?
Every day of my life.
Okay. Just making sure. Because Fuego, I know you don't, right?
No, I wear a belt, of course.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
I got you.
Who doesn't wear a belt? Unless you're like some real fat guy who's got elastic around his waistband.
I gotta wear a belt.
No, dude. Because how many times you go down the street and you see the brother walking down the street with his pants around his ankles because he don't have a belt?
Man, he has a belt on. He just trying to look cool. He loosens that.
He just trying to look extra cool, and plus, it should be all against sagging skinny jeans.
Man, don't talk about I better not see that anymore. I'm just letting y'all know. And I saw a dude wearing a skinny suit Easter. That wasn't cool. you don't rock no skinny suit.
No, Levi's makes skinny shorts now. I've seen them in Macy's.
Oh no,
it's ridiculous.
Oh no, it's getting too bad. Nah,
it's ridiculous, yo.
Look, it's the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And they got all these colors, and all the gay dudes was in Macy's. They was running in there. I was trying to buy some jeans. They're like, ooh, look, Donovan. There's the skinny shorts. I told you. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, skinny shorts.
Skinny shorts.
I got skinny shorts from like 1978 when I was about 13 that I used to wear.
I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're rocking skinny jeans or skinny shorts, you cannot act like you're a thug. I say that almost every day because
you put your gun back. You're a thug. Skinny jeans on. Where's your gun go?
Exactly. And just because you have a Cookie Monster backpack on does not make you a thug. That alone makes you like a clown.
The gun goes in his man clutch.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Carries in a man purse.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, there's dudes that walk around the D.C. area. They like 35 years old with skinny jeans on, a Cookie Monster backpack, and these big ass headphones. Why do you dress like that? Why do you look like that? And you're 35 at that. Nah.
It's by gay. They got multi-colored ones now. So now niggas is rocking Elmo jeans and backpacks with the red Beats by Dre's on, just looking extra muppety.
Check it.
I don't get it.
And those headphones is a little expensive, and probably those skinny jeans, and you're walking everywhere.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
You're walking.
Look, I had a friend of mine. He hadn't had a job in about 4 months. So dude gets a job at KFC. It's all he can find, right? He gets a job at KFC. He gets his first check. He doesn't own a car. He doesn't have any food in the fridge. He's staying at a friend's house, not paying rent. What's the first thing he does? He goes out and spends $80 on a sweater.
Never.
Are you kidding me?
Never.
See, that's people that's people that don't have a priority straight, yo.
And then he was pissed when my buddy wanted to throw him out. He says, "You've been eating my food, sleeping in my bedroom over there. You haven't contributed one thing to this house. You can't even drive. I got to take you everywhere. And you buy an $80 sweater out of your $100 paycheck? Get the fuck out. You're done."
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, yo. People have no regard for anything, yo.
Well, you spent $200 on a phone and wouldn't even buy the case for it. What are you talking about?
Hey, I was trying to be...
Oh, you breaking up.
Yeah, see? Go buy another phone.
Tipsy, we lost you.
Buy an iPhone this time. And get a case.
Hey, Tipsy.
Get some insurance on that joint.
Tipsy.
Hey, maybe you can call Jason and let him borrow his flip phone.
Say it again?
Maybe you can call Jason and borrow his flip phone.
That's what I... Yo, he just... No, I'm not.
He's gone. He's done. That phone's a piece of crap.
Wow.
I call LeBron James right now and demand my money back.
Yo, that's bad.
We'll try to get Tipsy back on the other side. We'll take a break now. We'll try to hook back in with my partner in crime there. And speaking of LeBron, we're going to get into LeBron very heavy in this segment, obviously, with the playoffs going on. LeBron's been making waves. Had a great Game 5. But we want to talk about some of the comments from his post-game news conference and some other things, all things LeBron here when we come back on Overtime Sports Radio.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Fuego Beats back, and I'm letting you know that if you're looking for the latest clothing and accessories, look no further than jsnlonline.com. JSNL has the latest t-shirts, they got sunglasses, watches, anything that you need. So make sure you guys check out jsnlonline.com today and use Fuego Beats Radio as your promo code to get 15% off. That's jsnlonline.com, Fuego Beats Radio as the promo code. And remember, stay connected.
Log in, FuegoBeats.com, YouTube, Mr. Fuego Beats.
All right, welcome back to the Overtime Sports Radio Show on FuegoBeats.com. We've got Tipsy back on the line. How's it going there, Tipsy?
Yo, what's up? I'm here. That's the Skype app.
Yeah, to call in on the bat phone there so we can get you. And but that's good. He's heading down there. Where are you at now? You're down in Virginia Beach?
I am in Virginia Beach.
Nice. So we got him. Of course, we got Mr. Fuego on the line still.
Yo.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get into this, man. LeBron James had some, obviously they win Game 5. They could sew it up on the next game here. But they Pacers have been giving him some fits here lately.
They damn sure have. But Tipsy, you can start on that if you would like. Tipsy. Uh-oh.
Tips.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
I thought Fuego was about to answer.
No, I said I'll let you go first because you know me. I'll go. So you could.
Yeah, I didn't catch much of Game 5 yesterday. I saw a little bit here and there because I was busy doing some other things. But there's no way that Indiana can't win. They're not going to win this next game. It's just not in the cards for them yet. They're not as good as they try to appear to be. My thing I don't like is that, okay, like, you won 27 games in a row at one point in the season.
Exactly.
Why can't you just beat this team? Like, why does it have to go better? This is why I think playoff games are rigged and referees are told to do certain things to keep series going long. If I go win 27 games in a row and I've lost 4 games in the last 3.5 months of the season, I'm playing the same team. Why can't I beat them?
Well, that didn't stop the Spurs from sweeping and taking care of their business.
Yeah, I say it like this. I say that
This is my point.
When you play, I'm almost inclined to agree with some parts of that, especially after watching these few playoff shits. But if you sometimes when you play, you kind of know the way they play. They didn't play the Pacers, 5 times in a row or nothing like that. Obviously, when the Pacers won the in-season series, so I'll give it to them on that. But you're right, I'm mad because Miami just shows up and they're like, we Miami, so you're gonna just bow down. That's how I think they have in their mind sometimes. Like, hell no, put these young boys on their ass. Like, really?
And that's why I think they're going to get beat in Game 6, and it's going to go to a Game 7.
And I'm feeling the same way because Boss is acting like a bitch. Wade don't give a damn. And
look, LeBron James had a ridiculous third quarter. Okay, basically 16 out of his 30 points came in the third quarter. It was like a 20-point turnaround at one point. It's just ridiculous. But it took that for them to even get back in this game and have a chance to win it. Now, of course, they won it. At the end, it got a little out of control. But do you have the clip, Fuego? Can you cue the little thing up we had earlier?
Oh yeah. I'll get that.
Soundbite. Cue that up. Let's hear that.
Yeah, I kind of just went back, to my Cleveland days at that point, and just said, let's try to, make more plays, be more of a scoring threat as well, and just try to figure out a way that I can, I don't know, just, see if the guys just follow me and just lead them the best way I could. And I was just in attack mode in the third quarter. Look for my shot. and luckily I was able to make some.
So he's talking about going back to his Cleveland days. Basically, his reason for leaving Cleveland was because he was the only one there doing anything.
Exactly.
And that he wasn't surrounded by talent, that he was the only good player on the team, and that's why he specifically went to Miami so that he could get together with Dwayne Wade and put together this super team. And these other guys are just disappearing on him. I mean, you had Juwan Howard had to start throwing things in the locker room to get the team motivated. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. They're primed for picking. I'm telling you right now. If they make it past the Pacers, which they'll be lucky to, the Spurs are going to be completely rested. They're going to be loaded for bear. They're arguably playing better than any team in the playoffs at this point. And I'm telling you, man, he could get their ass spanked.
And you know what? The thing that I look at with this Pacers series is I never cry about refs. Now, I don't know how much you guys been watching like before Game 5. I know, Tipsy, you said you didn't really get into Game 5 like that. But I'm looking at the refs. Some I'm not going front. As good as Indiana is and as whack as Miami's playing, the games was close. Like Indiana should have ran away in the first half yesterday by like 14 points. Yet they only up at 2. That's why I kind of feel what Tipsy's saying, that they're not as good. And I had this discussion with my boy that they're not as good as people were trying to make them to be. They are great defensively, but real Stevenson, seriously, he'll give you 20 points one game, and he should have negative 20 points the next game.
He's J.R. Smith.
And not even that good. You know what I mean?
So J.R. Smith. And another thing is this. LeBron's statement that he's going back to his Cleveland days is something that he probably shouldn't have said, and I think he might have been a little frustrated, and it's probably going to rub people the wrong way. But when you're so great, and you have to sometimes be even greater than you usually are, you might tend to get a little frustrated. So he's a little frustrated. He had to go back to that. But to say, for him to be like, oh, I got to be more of a scorer there. I mean, you took over games in Cleveland with more effort than you take over games with Miami. But your points per game and everything is still about the same. So it's not like he needs to do more. He's playing with Dwayne Wade, who's got a knee, whose kneecap is basically just there. It's not even really connected to anything. Like that's like the key thing. But wait, and this is another reason, off topic real quick, why Derrick Rose is a bitch. Because he's had time to heal from his ACL injury. He's still afraid to get on the court. Dwayne Wade has Band-Aids, tape, and some compression socks on his knee that he says is kind of just floating there because it needs to be fixed. But he's trying to wait and get through the playoffs and get his third ring before he has the surgery. So, you're not able to fool Dwayne Wade. Chris Bosh is just basically, he's 6'10", 6'11", but he's soft. So it doesn't even matter. The thing that's keeping Indiana in these games and allowing them to win 2 games is that they have height. They have more height than Miami has because Miami can't afford height. If they were smart before the end of the season, they would have dropped one of those people on the team that don't never play, and they would have tried to convince somebody like, Ilgauskas or somebody to come back just for the postseason so that they could get some height in there. Ilgauskas has had 2 or 3 years to get his feet right. He can come back in and stand in there and just be 6'5", but be a big body in the middle. That's the thing that's giving Miami fits, is that sometimes LeBron can't come through the middle and jump from the free throw line and bang on somebody when you got 7'8" Roy Hibbert standing there looking big and dumb, just stand there and body the shot.
See, like, the key thing with like the statement. Back to the statement real quick, and I'll touch on Roy. The statement he said, it could be looked at multiple ways. It could be looked at that he shouldn't have said that, and then it could be looked at he's maybe pulling a Jordan or a Kobe, where you're saying shit to fire up your guys. Because that would piss me off. If just like when Barkley called Wade in, remember he called Udonis and all of them, the Tito's?
Yeah.
He called them Tito's. That fires you up. Like, don't compare me to no Tito Jackson or no damn Mo Williams. So right there, it could have been looked at both ways. I think he was just frustrated. Like, I'm inclined to agree with you. But it could be looked at like that. Maybe he did that to fire them up. Because he was in their face. He was cursing them out right there. That's just what he was doing. But to speak on like Roy, dude is 7'2", and what's happening is that he's camping out in there because Boss is not hitting shots. If Boss starts hitting shots, he got to come out regardless if Boss is not because he's a threat. I don't care if Boss missed, or Ray Allen for that matter. I don't care if they miss 20 shots in a row. You still not going to give them a chance to get hot by hitting 2 in a row. So you're going to come out on him. So he could go. He went around Perkins. He could go. Yo, Hibbert is not Joakim Noah. He does not have fast feet. All you got to do is get him on that elbow and go. That's how he gets in foul trouble. He jumps straight up and really don't even jump because he's damn 6'7", and probably got the wingspan of 100 feet and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just what he do. So you're not gonna get a foul on him that way. But when you drive on him and he has to lunge to get you, that's how you got him last year. And I love that Udonis got in that dude, my man, and I like my man Wes. I like him, but got in his face. Because that fired up the crowd and that fired them up. And I'm telling you, when Miami gets fired up, nobody can really mess with them at all.
No, and another thing, Chris Bosh needs to stop shooting 3-pointers and take it to Hibbert under the basket and get him in foul trouble. So you can open up the middle and they can score them points and they can do their run and gun like they need to do in transition when they lock down their defense on the other end.
Yeah. Well, my point about it is in Game 5, I mean, LeBron had to have like the third quarter of all third quarters. He had to trash the locker room in halftime. And in Haslam, I mean, his first shot was a complete brick, but after that he went 5 for 5 in the third, basically finished 8 for 9. I mean, is he going to be perfect every night? I mean, it's not going to happen.
Not even. You're going to have a well-rounded. What happens, and if you watch those old Bulls with Jordan in them, there was times that it was times they all clicked, and there was times Jordan had to be Jordan, and LeBron had to be LeBron, Kobe had to be Kobe. Indiana, not saying they can't beat them because I think they have a good chance to do that, but Indiana has nobody, like a lot of these teams. I don't even want to say they like the Detroit Pistons in 04, but they're built like they're one unit. So nobody can actually, like Paul George is nice, but nobody can actually take over like a Kobe, like a Carmelo Anthony, like a LeBron. They can't do that and just put everybody on their back. So when somebody that's not in their group of groove, as far as I call group of groove, they're not in the groove together, like Stevenson or George Hill, they can't do something. Or you take Hibbert out of there, they miss something. So nobody can be like, you know what, I'm going to strap this on and I'm just going to dominate. They can't really do that. So to me, if I'm Miami, I'm trying to play on that. I'm trying to take some. I would let Paul George get his thing. Let him go. It's Hibbert and West that's killing you. That's it. They have no bench. That's all. So the smart thing would be is, Bosh, get your ass up on some rebounds. Stop acting like a bitch. Because you dominated in Toronto. Dude was a 20-10 dude in Toronto. He was balling. Why can't he do it there? When you got
because in Miami he can be free and be his gay self in Miami, and nobody gives a shit. So now he's just playing freely and homosexually, and it's coming out in his game. In Toronto, he has to hide that shit and bang it out.
But you know what? You said Ilgauskas. I'm telling you right now. Oh, my bad. That was my keyboard. My bad. Let me turn that off. I say in the off season, you try your damnness, which is not going to work. Try to get that man Anderson Varejao from Cleveland. Try to get him. I know you're not going to be able to because Cleveland decided to pay him $12 million a season and shit.
You trade Chris Bosh.
I don't know if I would trade him for Anderson. I would have to get Anderson and somebody else, like some other four. that's good, or some, like a 3-way deal or something. You know what I'm saying? Because by himself, I don't think he can replace Bosh when it comes to scoring. You know what I mean? And Wade is almost honestly like Wade got a few more years. He ain't the Wade. He's not gonna be the Wade that we know. So I don't know, man. But so I feel y'all.
What are your predictions? So I think they're gonna lose Game 6. What do you guys think?
I think Miami is going to win Game 6 because Miami is doing what all great NBA teams have done, is basically play good enough not to lose until they need a reason to play good. To go to Game 6 in Indiana and close it out, you're going to see Ray Allen spot up and take some three-pointers that are just going to fall. You're going to see Dwayne Wade, even with his bad knee, come a little harder in the middle, and they're going to get those big men, West and Hibbert, in foul trouble, and LeBron's just going to be LeBron. Now, the key is going to be how much a contribution they get from Mike Miller and Shane Battier and Trump the three-point line. Yeah. Mike Miller hasn't played a lot in this series. And I think he's not playing a lot because they kind of know they're going to get to the finals, and they don't want to risk Mike Miller getting hurt prior to that. So, if they win tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure they'll do, you're going to see a different team by the time Game 1 comes to the finals. And I don't think the matchups are going to be as good as people think if the Spurs play the Heat. It's not going to be no epic 7-game series. I think Miami is too fast for them. As good as Ginobili and Duncan and all them are, they are slow, and that's just not going to work right. They're not going to be able to slow Miami down. So Miami wins tomorrow, and they beat the Spurs in 5 games.
I say like this. I don't even want to. I hate bold predictions, Rick. I hate doing them because I feel like I agree with Rick that that's gonna happen. It's gonna go to Game 7, and I feel like they'll win Game 7. But I feel like in my mind, that's my heart. My mind tells me that Miami's gonna go and handle business because they don't want to stretch this out to Game 7 because Game 7 is a toss-up. Anybody. Exactly. This is like the damn Super Bowl type shit. Like anything can happen. You know what I mean? And that it's not like you got another game to come back on or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could end up being like the way they began Game 4 down 11 to Zippy.
And remember, Miami is like 6-1 on the road in the playoffs. So for them to win this game in Indiana isn't that much of a stretch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'll put my money at. I said early on, Miami in 5. And if it wasn't for that Game 2 debacle, it would be Miami in 5. But Miami in 6 over the Pacers, and Miami in 5 over San Antonio. They're just too fast and too much outside shooting for San Antonio to stop.
Yeah, we're going to have to check that out and see if you're right. But when we come back, we're going to jump back a game before the last game. We're going to go back to Game 4. There were some things that came out right before they played Game 5 that we'll talk about. This is Overtime Sports Radio on FuegoBeats.com.
According to the Mayans, get a grip, you can't contain me.
Yeah, this is Rhubarb, and you are listening to Fuego Beats Radio, the #1 online radio station for emerging artists.
Overtime Sports Radio. This is Rick on FuegoBeats.com. And Tipsy and Mr. Fuego got the ocean breeze in the background. Before we went to break, we were talking about some fines that were dished out in Game 4. So 8 hours before Game 5 was played, David West, Lance Stevenson, and LeBron James were all fined $5,000 for flopping. only that, but there was another infraction that was upgraded, and we'll talk about that. But first, let's get into this flopping thing here. So what do you guys say about that? Flopping, I guess, has been going on since, the NBA started, basically. What's your take on it?
Tipsy, you want to go?
So, flopping, I mean, like I said, everybody flops. Flopping's been going on at least since I've been watching basketball, since the early 80s. And, I mean, Dennis Rodman, even Karl Malone, all these guys were professional floppers. They did what they had to do to get the calls, and that's all they're doing now. And they just recently started calling it flopping. They just used to call it selling the call. So, like I said, they put flopping, you can flop in the video games now. So it's part of the NBA. It's part of the culture. If you've never played NBA 2K13 on the PlayStation, if you push a circle twice, your guy automatically fall down. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you get called for the call. So, I think it's pointless to fine them. And if you're serious about it, don't fine them $5,000. These guys can find $5,000 in their house at any given time. Make it serious. Fine them $50,000, fine them $100,000, something to show that you're doing it to try to stop something, rather than just saying it's annoying to watch.
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Fuego? You think? I mean, the flop has been going on forever, right?
No doubt. Yeah, Dennis Rodman, Reggie Miller, all of them. You know what I'm saying? But the word flop didn't come up until recently. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like everybody flops, and it's on the referee. If they stupid enough to think that when somebody brush past me and I'm, 280 pounds and they are $150 and I fall over and they call the foul.
Hold on a second.
Oh, okay. Tipsy's getting arrested, like.
Hold on, there's violence going down because I'm live on the scene.
What did you do? Flop at
He flopped at the beach. A beach
flop. I tell you what, I'm about to flop if I hear some gunshots.
Damn right.
Hold on.
Live at the site.
Down on the sea.
Damn.
Live downtown Virginia Beach.
You see, it's live down there, and that's why we're going to be in and out next week.
Let me stop.
That's hilarious.
Well, back to what...
That fire show is getting extra for no reason.
Because you're trying to get through traffic. They always do shit like that. But, yo...
That is getting extra for no reason.
But, yo, that flop, man, I'm telling you, everybody does it. The referee, if you don't call, if you see something or didn't see it, you need to go back to the referee school, whatever you go to, training. That's on the ref. You know what I'm saying? If they stupid enough to see that, Nate Robinson then knocked Shaq over or some shit like that, they need to really see that. They need to really go back. And
see, that's my point. If I'm a ref and I'm out there in the court, I'm watching everything I can watch. You're trying to keep your field of vision open so you can see as much as going on. And somebody in the corner of my eye falls down, I'm not just going to the player next to him and calling a foul on him. If I don't see the contact, that's bad. That's my bad. I didn't see it. Oh well. But I have to actually see the contact for me in good conscience to call the foul. So basically, you've got these refs that are calling fouls just on what might have happened, and that's not their job. Their job is to call the game as they see it. And if you don't see it, how can you call a foul? So the whole flopping thing is crap because it wouldn't exist if the referees were doing their job.
Exactly, and $5,000 to them, they said, was equivalent to us with $12. The $12 fine. Exactly. So, what did it really teach you?
Nothing, because if that's the case, I would just give the league like $100,000 at the beginning of the year.
And I'm be like, I'm a flop. I'm just gonna let you know, I'm gonna do it.
Escrow. I will be using this.
I have no idea.
Yo, it's one of those things that like I said, they.
Hello.
What up?
Hello.
You talking to me? Oh, I thought you were talking. I thought you said Fuego.
What up? Yeah, I didn't think you were going to go on that early.
Tipsy's talking to Handles. Yo, tell Handles what's good.
Yeah, was good. We live at Shockers right now.
That's what's
We're doing
up.
an overtime sports radio show. The homie Handle just came out of the building doing his show.
That's what's up, man.
Saying
We
what's
got
up
it.
to the people. We're doing a radio show, right? Sports radio show right now. Yeah.
That's what it
That's all
is.
riding down doing this to come here to try to catch the show.
Hey, Rick, this is good.
We talk about flopping. Let's get his opinion. We talk about flopping in the NBA. So we'll get Handle's opinion on what flopping is in the NBA.
Yeah, he a baller too, so
what
that's
do you
what's
think
up.
about them getting fined for flopping? They ought to get fined because there's too many of them doing it now. I can see one or two start doing it, but then now it's just like a domino effect now. Everybody want to do it. So
that
it is what it is. So it just started off in the NFL with the bounty hunters and all that stuff. Everybody started to get fined for every little thing, so now just moved on to the NBA.
Yeah.
There you have it.
It's all the Giants' fault. They started.
Don't start with us.
He said the Giants started flopping.
Don't start with us.
You know they did.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I can't throw my boys under.
I was trying to get here.
But yeah, man, like that whole flopping thing, man. That's just like I said. I agree that it's annoying, you know, when it's being done and that's it. But I just think that it's been done. I mean, for a long time, like period. I mean, and like I said, they act like superstar calls happened just recently when you couldn't even stand next to Michael Jordan without getting called for a foul, ever. And you cannot do that. So it's one of those things that I really think the whole flopping just started because I mean you want to do anything it takes to win, and that's just what it is. And again, what we said, the refs, they the biggest key to that. And I think people are realizing, like us, that people are flopping is because all these camera angles, the HD this, and looking at, you know, different slow-mos. Because before we just said, oh, man, that wasn't even a foul, and we moved on with our life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's it, man.
Excellent. Well, that was great. We got some on-the-scene reporting there, and Tipsy.
Gunshots and all.
Absolutely. And glad we got the input there. So when we come back, we'll get a little more into this, and we'll find out what NBA player spent a little cash hiring a private investigator to follow his wife. We'll be back on Overtime Sports Radio on FuegoBeats.com.
Log in, FuegoBeats.com, YouTube, Mr. Fuego Beats.
Yo, this is Rick from JustManTalk.com, and you're listening to Overtime on FuegoBeats.com.
What's going on? This is Fuego Beats from Fuego Beats Radio, and I want to tell everyone to check out the greatest sci-fi radio station out, Super 564 on Blog Talk Radio. They have the best topics, including sci-fi films, comic books, video games, and they even have a featured artist segment for musicians weekly. So if you have an obsession with sci-fi films, music, or video games like me, then this is the station for you. Make sure you check them out on blogtalkradio.com/super564. That's blogtalkradio.com/SUPAFI64. All right? And remember, stay connected.
All right, welcome back to Overtime Sports Radio, FuegoBeats.com. This is Rick from Just Man Talk. I'm here with Mr. Fuego. How's it going, man?
Yo, I'm all right.
And we got Tipsy on the scene down in Virginia Beach.
What's up? You know, I'm still live on the scene right now, about to head out, but we here.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
So I got some other NBA news. Of course, the playoffs are the big story, but there's some other stories going on. Tim Duncan apparently was worried about his wife of 12 years cheating on him and actually hired a private investigator to check up on her. They're in the middle of getting a divorce. And, you know, basically they were getting ready to file, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she files. But he got a little worried about Amy and wanted to know if she was cheating. So, they met back at Wake Forest. You know, he was playing basketball. She was a cheerleader. They married in 2001. They had 2 children. And then Tim Duncan, you know, hires a private investigator. So let me ask you guys, have you ever felt like you needed to hire a private investigator for somebody you were with?
Exactly. No, man. No, never. If you have to hire a private investigator, there's no point. There's no point. If I got to do all like that. Exactly. I'm not doing all like that. I'm not hiring no private investigator. Yo, real talk.
No, you gotta hire a private investigator. You rich, yo. Like, you got a prenup and you rich. Why are you hiring a private investigator?
Exactly.
You can't get more than what you do.
That's that ocean breeze windy. That's that.
This is like the weather reports where you see the guy stand outside the windbreaker.
As you can clearly see,
he's flying by his end. He's like, wow, it's really windy out here. Like,
right?
Get in the house.
Yo, that's funny.
Oh, it is windy out here.
Oh, we can hear.
Yeah, that's all we can hear. We missed the last 10 minutes of what you said.
I'm going to try to mute it as much as I can to stop the airflow while y'all are conversating.
That's what's up. Yo.
It's like extra windy down here on the ocean front, but it's nice. It's like July down here, but it's like March.
Hey, yo, do y'all want us to start it over until
I'm going to have to switch the speakerphone.
I didn't hear that.
And if you hear a thud, I'm on the beach.
Wow.
Like on the
sand?
sand?
I'm not in the sand. I'm actually on 19th and Pacific right now.
So you hear what we do, man. On Rick's Overtime Show, we go raw. We don't care about technical difficulties. That's what we do.
You don't care about nothing. I'm running across the street. I'm dodging red lights.
I still hear it.
That's hilarious.
That lady's honking horns. That lady's honking the horn, right? That's the reason.
That's funny.
Mad that she got no neck.
So Tipsy, basically you're saying if you get to the point where you got to hire a private investigator, there's no point.
My thing is, if you already divorcing, why even waste the extra money on a private investigator?
Or maybe he's trying to find some other reasons to break prenup and basically not give her anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what kind of language is in the prenup. It could have been other things where if she starts cheating, it makes it null.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he's trying not to get her nothing. You know, like if she's caught cheating, you get nothing.
You don't want to even pay her that.
But see, usually with the prenups they have, if you cheat, the women is guaranteed that whatever. So I'm pretty sure a guy would have, hey, if I don't cheat and you cheat, whoever gets caught cheating first. You know what I'm saying? Loses and shit. So, I mean, I'm not hiring. I'm moving on. Hey, I'm being real. I probably wouldn't even be married if I was a sports figure or some millionaire. You know, and I was that young at first. For what?
What's the point?
For what? You know you're going to cheat.
For real, yo, like I wouldn't get married until like the end of my career.
Like now, like Tim Duncan, if he got married like this year, I would be cool. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
I was like 70 and spitting bubbles, and I needed someone to wipe my ass. That's when I'm getting married. I can't take it with me. I'm done.
That's it.
That's what LeBron James is doing. That's why he ain't married his baby. They got kids.
He's already tied into it, you know?
She knows she's not worried about the marriage, yo. Like, she's not thought that, yo. I got the kids. That's good enough. That's as good as a marriage right now.
Exactly.
He do what he wants.
The smartest thing you could do.
Are you really gonna try to keep tabs on a nigga who's got his hands on $100 million at any given time?
Yo.
Like, come on.
What I like, even though, you know what I'm saying, I like what Tony Parker did and I like what Melo did. You marry somebody that got money too.
Right.
Because they understand how it all works.
Hey, that doesn't always work.
Cheerleader you met in college. Wait until you marry that movie star. You know what I mean? Somebody's got more money than you got.
Exactly. That don't always work though. Two famous people married and they divorce. It don't matter how much money she got. She's still gonna get half.
If you're smart, I mean, if you're dumb to do that, because I'm like on some Kobe stuff. Kobe didn't sign the prenup, and I don't know how you not sign a prenup with a backup dancer. Like what?
Steve Nash, right? Steve Nash.
Oh, Lord.
He's fighting his ex-wife right now to keep his ex-wife from moving his 3 children from, I guess, from Phoenix to California, because I guess the Arizona law was different. I mean, he's basically all he pays for is the private education and the health insurance. That's it. He doesn't pay any child support. But she's trying to move him to California, so she can refile.
Already.
Huh?
She already got a stash of millions.
Really?
You know, giving her so much money, he's like, she got so much money that she don't need my money, and the only reason she want to come to California is because they know in California they're going to give her half.
He's going to make 28 million, 27, 28 million in the next 3 seasons.
You talking about Nash?
Including this one.
You talking about Nash?
8.9 this year, 9.3 next year, and 9.7
for what?
The year after that.
See, that's what I mean by these
already
stupid
made
contracts.
over $100 million before that.
Yeah.
Yep. She wants that cake.
I mean, I'm telling you, that's exactly what, and you see it. And you see it early. If you know, and we all known in high school, if we didn't play sports and was good, we knew players that were nasty. They didn't. A lot of them didn't accomplish a damn thing. But we seen these mothers be putting these little girls up to doing it as young as like 9th grade. They be like, yo, get with that dude. Because Savannah did it. Savannah did it with LeBron, was with him since high school. Like, lock it in quick. Make sure he know. You need to put it on him. You need to do what he wants.
She had the first baby, like, he was like 3 years in the league.
Yep. Early. Them kids I think his kid's like 21 now. Let me stop. I'm just
Man, babe ain't even that bad.
Nah, she right. Like, no lie, man. She's right.
She's all right, but I mean,
I mean for a regular chick, because she's just a regular chick. She's not like a chick that's, you know what I'm saying, like you went to get a model or no, no stuff like that. That's what he's gonna do. If they get divorced, then he'll get him a model and all that. I think when these boys like Kobe, when he finally gets out the league, that's why I said my point was with Duncan earlier is that Duncan is probably done either. Probably not next season, but probably the season after. I think he's done, and that's when they get divorced because the woman's like, all right, it's about that time. When Jordan was done, he got a divorce. Like that, it's always like that. You know what I'm saying? Except with Magic's wife. I don't know how you stayed with a dude that could have gave you AIDS. I don't know, but
hey, because that nigga has a lot of money. She ain't get that money nowhere else, and nobody gonna want to mess with her anyway because they're gonna
exactly. That's true.
Like,
But at that time, couldn't he have? Well, see, he didn't make as much because he didn't have all those theaters and Starbucks and all that sort of stuff. But he had money then. He obviously cheated on her, so she could have. I don't know.
But maybe the money wasn't enough. You won't make no money like that.
That's true. That's true. Because I was the late '80s, and they probably made
cheated on her with Isaiah Thomas.
Right? That's what I wish I was old enough to remember that. But that's what they used to say. Like my pops was like, yo, I think he was kissing on Isaiah. Like
he was.
Kissing, yo, like on the court, they were always kissing, yo, like, come on, yo. You know they kissed at parties, yo.
And then, oh man, and these are the same dudes. These are the same dudes that's talking about we would have never been friends with each other. Yeah, y'all would have been lovers and shit.
Yeah, like basically. Look. Every movie you see about the '80s that's not a comedy, there's always some borderline gay shit going on with the guys. Like rich dudes like to be gay for whatever reason. I don't know if they think it's the money or whatever like that.
That's the title of this show.
Shit all the time.
This is the title of this show. No, real talk. I'm gonna put that. Let me write that down.
That's hilarious. Well, look, we got some sad NBA news. Mookie Blaylock, former All-Star guard, is on life support now after a car crash in suburban Atlanta. Apparently, he was driving his SUV. He crossed the center line and hit a van head on. The couple that was in the van was taken to a medical center. Their names and conditions are not immediately available at this time, but Blaylock, 46 years old, was a first-round draft pick of the Nets of Oklahoma in '89. He played for the Atlanta Hawks, Golden State Warriors for the last 3 seasons of his 12-year career. That's pretty sad. I still don't have any details yet on if there was any alcohol or anything else involved.
He has been upgraded from critical to stable condition.
Okay, good. I wonder if he just fell asleep or something.
Rick tried to make y'all cry just now. You see that?
Hey, man.
Some people say,
Mookie! He's a good
Mookie!
guy, you know what I mean? I hate to see sad stuff like that.
No, I know.
He was a decent athlete.
Nah, Mookie used to scare me, man, when Jordan and them used to play. I used to be shook.
I just seen a midget.
Yeah, with black lips.
No, I just seen a midget.
Oh, you did?
The street now.
Yo, you should have a camera.
Take a picture, man.
Yo.
I can't take a picture with the midget right there. I'm at the red light.
Yo, you sure you ain't Blaze and then all of a sudden you seen a midget?
No, it was a midget. He had a skull cap on and everything.
Oh, you straight up saw what is it, Bushwick Bill like shit.
He was white though.
Oh, with a skull. Yo, I never seen a skull, a gangster white dude.
He just looked like a midget skateboarder.
Oh, that's wee baby.
I wonder what board he uses, yo. Like they have to modify it like a middle wheel.
It'd be like a surfboard to him.
Right.
That's like a boogie board. It's like, oh, hey.
Right.
Do some boogie board.
So Mark Sanchez from the Jets says he's going to be the starter this season. Geno Smith says it's going to be up to the coaches. What do you guys say? Who's the starting for the Jets this year? Mark Sanchez or Geno Smith?
Mark Sanchez for the first game, and that's it.
Geno Smith will start week 1. Mark Sanchez will start all the preseason games.
Yeah.
Geno Smith will start week 1, and Mark Sanchez will be traded by week 3 or released because he's trash. And somebody needs to sit him down and say, look, Mark, you fucking suck. Like, that's the only way to put it. You got to go.
He took them to the championship game twice.
No, the defense took them to the championship game twice. The offense allowed them to stay 9-7 and barely make it. They weren't 13-3 or 12-4. If they were that, then I could see, okay, give Mark Sanchez the benefit of the doubt. They were barely making it. And this is a guy that came from he's USC,
Mark Sanchez responsible for a offense that was designed on ground and pound when you can't ground and pound. He's not the quarterback that you needed for an offense that couldn't run the ball.
I'm going to Stephen A. Smith you real quick. But the offense was ground and pound because Mark Sanchez can't throw.
Come on now.
There's no way you can go from throwing like 3,500 yards in college and then the next year you're down to like 1,800 yards. Like they need to sit him down and say, Mark, I got one question to ask you. Where did you play football at? USC. I'll let you go.
I'm biased against the USC quarterback program. I'm telling you now. There's something going on here.
It's terrible. Name me one good USC quarterback.
Fuego Beats. Let me stop.
I'm waiting. They got the Jeopardy music.
He's out. Get back
the
to
answer is, what is 0?
Yo.
Matt Leinart, garbage. Mark Sanchez, garbage. Carson Palmer, borderline but still garbage.
Borderline but still.
Matt Barkley is going to be garbage. Dropped all the way to the 4th round. When people realize, we'll start with Matt Barkley, that USC quarterbacks are overrated. Do not waste your first-round pick on them.
Rick?
All right, so here, let's go back. So you got Matt Barkley, Mark
Leinart,
Sanchez, John David Booty,
yep,
Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer,
Matt
he's good.
Matt Castle.
You said Matt Castle?
Yeah.
He was garbage. And you know when it all went downhill for them? When they had, what's that guy's name? They tried to make it a super quarterback.
Rodney Peete? Come on now, Rodney Peete?
No. No.
Rodney Peete.
No.
Come on, man.
He was never set up to accomplish. He was never set up to accomplish anything good. Neither was Sean Salisbury. He was never to accomplish anything good. I don't even think a USC. Give me a USC starting quarterback that has won the Super Bowl ever.
I can't give you one of them.
I'll be
You know what I'm saying?
I can't give you one of them.
USC quarterbacks are so terrible. Matt Leinart is again backing up Carson Palmer. Well, before Carson Palmer got traded, whatever they did, I don't know if he's still in Oakland. But he was backing up Carson Palmer like back being in college. You were backing him up in college. I was backing him up in the NFL because you're terrible.
Best one out of the bunch is probably Rodney Peete. But yeah, you got me on that one.
That's what I'm saying, yo. And they finally figured it out with Matt Barkley. Don't waste the time or the money. If Matt Barkley turns out to be good, it'll be because he wasn't drafted in the first round and he didn't have anything to lose.
All right, last question before we go, guys. Will Tim Tebow ever start a quarterback for another NFL team?
No, but he should.
Very
because
interesting.
The basic fundamentals of football, of playing a quarterback in football, is can you win games? Doesn't matter how you do it. Can you win games? Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions. They threw a lot of touchdowns.
So is it the coaches' egos that won't allow him to ever play again because they want their system run their way by their style quarterback, and no matter what, that's what they want to live and die by?
He took that's what they're going to do, but what they should look at is he took a 1-4 mediocre Denver Broncos team, got them to 8-8 to win their division and the playoff game. I mean, he could probably do more, but Denver didn't want to give him a chance. They were horny for Peyton Manning. So, you know, if it's about wins and losses and can he win the game, can he lead the team, he can do fourth quarter comebacks. Okay, his passing motion isn't that great. He's strong, he can run the ball, and he can win you games. A team that's not winning any games, that wants to win games, should sign Tim Tebow. And it's not going to cost you that much money.
What do you think, Fuego? I think he bailed on us.
Uh-oh. Did he go down?
He went down for the count. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's interesting. There's actually an article in here. Mike Freeman writes for the NFL. Went through a lot of the quarterbacks and tried to figure out exactly why they did. We'll save this discussion for a little bit closer to NFL season. And then we're all excited now. We're gonna be getting ramped up here soon. The OTAs are gone next week. I would definitely want to get into some RG3. There's a lot of stuff going on with him. Wondering if he's getting the kind of support around him that he should be getting. His father's mouthing off, the doctor's mouthing off, the coach is mouthing off. But the only one who's not mouthing off and who's actually doing things the right way is RG3. So I definitely want to get into that a little bit. And basically, we've heard absolutely nothing from his counterpart, Andrew Luck, since the season ended. Is that good news or bad news? We'll get into that again next week. Tipsy, appreciate you coming on and braving the elements down there on the beach, giving us that live update.
Terrible job, but somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
Gotta be me.
Yeah, have a hurricane on me, brother.
Good to be back on the show. I know y'all missed me a couple of weeks, but we got it all figured out now, so we're going to keep it moving.
Absolutely. And we'll do it again. There won't be a show next week. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull this up real quick. We've got special things going on next week.
That's right. We got a JSNL Music Saved My Life showcase in Virginia Beach at Watson Town Center. Tickets are on sale now. Tickets are $10 a piece, and a portion of all the tickets and all the proceeds from the evening will go to the to helping the victims of the tornadoes out there in Oklahoma. You know, so, you know, they're dealing with that tragedy out there, so we're going to do our part, you know what I'm saying, to try to, you know, help them get a little assistance, a little extra assistance out there. So it's a good cause. You can hit me up on, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook at my Tipsy McStagger. You can hit me at King5950 on Twitter. Email, inbox me, whatever, you know, to get your tickets Friday night, 9 to 2, June 7th. You know, come out and show love and support. And we're going to have a good time.
Absolutely. And we actually might have your token white guy come down and make an appearance there. I'm bringing my guitar, too. If I come down, I want to get on stage.
Hey, do what you got to do. Get recline in your chair and strum your guitar.
Rock and roll, baby.
Something like that. Guys, it's been... No,
I don't know about that now. I can get funky. I don't know if I can get that funky though.
No Margaritaville in Quad.
Oh, hey, I might actually know that one, so. We used to play that back in the day. All right, if you sing it, I'll play it. How about that?
All right. We'll pass on that altogether. Let's karaoke night. We'll hit the karaoke bar after that, and then we'll do that.
We'll do that? All right. Excellent. I will hold you to that, too. All right, guys. We'll catch you on your show next week. I mean, a week after next, again, because we'll all be down there in Virginia Beach at the show. So this is Overtime Sports Radio. This is Rick from Just Man Talk. You can catch me on justmantalk.com or at JustManTalk on Twitter. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Don't forget, FuegoBeats.com. You got JSNLOnline.com. And Super564, our partners over there, doing a great job. And Tipsy's great talking to you, Mr. Fuego. If you're on, we'll talk to you next week.
No doubt.
And we'll do it again, fellas. See you.